I am doing this live today in a very unhappy state of mind. It's a day which is very somber, I believe. Do you know that Hindus, Sikhs, were 7 lakh in number in Afghanistan? 7 lakh was the number of Hindus and Sikhs in Afghanistan. Not very far back, just 1970s. And today, we are probably seeing the end of Sanatan Dharam in Afghanistan. And when I talk of Sanatan Dharam, we have to go back to Indus Valley civilization. Since Indus Valley civilization, Hindus have lived in Afghanistan thousands of years. Before, can you hear me? It's live, so I'm sorry I forgot to ask in. Yes, you can hear me. And if you are joining for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Do you know that before this Islamic conquest of Afghanistan, it was filled with people of multiple religions. Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, Buddhism. And then 500 years ago, many Sikhs in Afghanistan, they say Guru Nanak Dev Ji visited Afghanistan. Lot of Sikh communities settled there. As I told you, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, Hindus were always there. And why to talk about that time? Why to talk about the time of Maharaja Ranjit Singh in 19th century, where a lot of Punjabis, Sindhis went to Afghanistan. Till 1970s, we were 7 lakh. 7 lakh is a very decent number. Was a very significant percentage of the population of Afghanistan. A very of the population of Afghanistan was the Sanatan Dharam civilization. Today I was on TV debate and a congressman said, Congress spokesperson, official, unofficial or sympathizer, whatever that gentleman was, he said, why not bring everybody in? I said, then what will happen? What you saw the Afghan Muslims doing? Protests in Delhi? Is that what you want to happen? Then you come as refugees and then you take over. And sometimes people tweet very brilliant things. Somebody tweeted this, which I found very, very interesting on my video. And I will open it and see. He tweeted something very wise, I felt. He asked me this question, that when there were 7 lakh Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, I'm getting into that, 7 lakh in 1970s. And I'm paraphrasing. I won't take his name because I really like his question. It's a very difficult question. It's a very harsh question. But I like the question. Let me show it on here. When he said that there were 7 lakh Hindu Sikhs there, how come the Afghan people did not protect them? How come they have been reduced to less than 1,000? And today, as I said, tomorrow, it's the end of the civilization there. It is the end of the civilization there. There will be nothing left after 5,000 more years. It is Mr. Surinder Kumar. Very rarely I show somebody else's tweet on my comment, but this is a very nice encapsulation, so I'm showing it to you. Ishkaran Bhandari, this is Afghan. Why should we welcome Afghanis who could not support their own countrymen, that is Hindu, Sikhs, etc., who were once 7 lakhs and now less than 1,000? Give me one reason for a Hindu to support these Afghans when they do not have humanity. Why to show humanity on these people? That's the question he's asked me. And I'm sorry, I don't have an answer to that question. Do you have an answer to that question? Do you have an answer to that question? How come we from 7 lakh became, civilization has ended, yaar. It's not even 1,000 left. It's ended now. It's a very difficult question. Why should we show humanity when no humanity was shown to us? Why should we have any Afghan living in India who is not
coming from Sanatan Dharma, who is not covered under the principles of CAA? It's a very valid question. It's a very difficult question because our impulse is to be humane. Our impulse is to save anybody suffering. But impulse has to be tempered by experience. Impulse has to be tempered by wisdom. I don't give a XYZ about political correctness. If you want political correctness, please do not come on my YouTube or my Facebook or my Hindi YouTube. I have never bothered about political correctness in my life. I speak what I want to speak. Agree with it, good for you. Don't agree with it, good for you. So I will not be politically correct. If I was politically correct, I wouldn't have said on TV that Modi government is very happy saying we are bringing Muslims also. They are saying it happily. And I said very simply that I believe that even in visas, please follow the principles of CEA or you are letting us down. I'm sorry. Modi is not permanent. Ishkaran is not permanent. You are not permanent. We all have defined lifetimes and life spaces. I wasn't born in 1970s. We were 7 lakh strong in Afghanistan in 1970s. Some of you might have been born in 1970s. And in your lifetime, a civilization has ended in Afghanistan. That is why I say, I don't care what BJP is very happy saying it. I said it on the TV debate that yes, CAA rules have not been implemented. Why? What are you scared of? Implement them, no. Absolutely implement them. Implement the CAA rules. Otherwise, what is it? Nothing. Without rules, the law is nothing. What is the CAA law? You all know, so I'm not repeating. It is the law which gives faster track to citizenship to Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Christians. The rules have not been made. So what's the point of the law? That's a relevant question, but I go forward. I say when you bring people on visas to India, Afghan people, that question that gentleman asked, which I showed you, that's relevant. Why did the Afghan people not stand up for Hindus and Sikhs? Why should we stand up now? Why not? Then let me get on to the second aspect of this debate. And why I said I'm not feeling happy. I am feeling disgusted actually. I am feeling not in the best of moods. Because whatever we do in our personal sphere, whatever we do for work, enjoyment, fun, life, how much time do we bother about what is happening to our civilization? And do you think this cannot happen in India? For thousands of years, Indus Valley time and before that, Afghanistan was a part where Sanatan Dharma flourished. It's ended. Took time, and then very rapidly it just ended. What are we doing today to prevent that from happening in Bharat? What are we doing today for Bharat not to repeat it? And that is why I asked the question that once you give visas, today they say there are 21,000 Afghan refugees in India, predominantly Muslim, who have come in the last few years. That is the documented one. What about the undocumented one? And let me be very honest here. Indian government has no will, no strength. I'm not talking about the parties. No government has the strength or the will to say, middle finger to the opinion of the West, we are chucking out people. You have not been able to chuck out Rohingyas. How many Rohingyas have you managed to chuck out? We don't have a continuous border and still Rohingyas are here. Pakistan is welcome to take as many Afghans as it wants to. Turkey, Saudi Arabia. Should I count the 57 Islamic countries? And incidentally, Bharat is a secular country. It's not even a Sanatan Dharma country. In our constitution, we are not a Sanatan Dharma country. We are a secular country, which is okay. I have no qualms with that. If we are genuinely secular, I won't have qualms. But what do you want? But after they come in, it was a very interesting line said on TV, and I must acknowledge, by I think Sambit Patra, he said, शरणार्थी बनाओगे और फिर वो शरिया लॉ लाएंगे or something. Obviously rhymed it. I'm just repeating him. Yes, that's also true. Like I showed you the tweet of this gentleman who tweeted that when Afghans didn't save us from 7 lakh to this, they didn't have humanity. Why should we have humanity? हमने ठेका लिया है क्या? Are we the ठेकेदार्स of humanity and keep reducing our land, keep reducing our territory, keep reducing our civilization? This Gandhian nonsense of non-violence. I feel like doing violence to this Gandhian nonsense of non-violence. Seriously. Yes, in a democracy, there cannot be any room for violence. But this is not within the country. This is things outside the country. And this is about using violent means legally by the state power. You don't do any violence. Never, ever. I am never in support of that. But the government should do violence to people who are trying to be anti-nationals. That is the government. How much will we squeeze out here? You have ended a glorious 1,000-year history in Afghanistan. Do you realize the importance of that? Do you realize the day is not far when it will end in Pakistan also? Unless something drastic happens. There is a day where there will be no Hindu, no Sikh, no Buddhist, no Jaini left in Pakistan. You see the beauty? India, the minority population in 1947 to the minority population in 2021. Exponential, not minority, I will be very blunt. See the numbers. Muslim population in India in 1947 when partition happened, they were the minority. And see the Hindu population in Pakistan 1947, Hindu population in Bangladesh 1947, Hindu population in Afghanistan 1947. Then sit back and talk. All three countries, and by Hindu I'm including all religions whose religion is born on the dharti of Bharat Mata. Everything as Afghanistan is ended, it's gonna be zero. Maybe that one great priest in that Kabul temple, some Granthis in Gurdwara, except that, and that also at the mercy of Taliban. So the population in Pakistan down, Bangladesh down, majorly down, token presence left. Afghanistan ended. Whereas what has happened to the population in India, it has only grown, which is okay, which is nothing wrong with that. The wrong is done by Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. But what are the lessons we are learning? That is the question I have to ask you. What are the lessons? It's a very dark YouTube conversation I'm having today. It's a very dark conversation I'm having. But we can't escape that. We can't run away from that. We have to face it square on. That on one end, I was on debate, Saba Naqvi was also there. I said on one end, you say India is intolerant, yet you want all Muslims to come to India. Why those 57 countries you will not dare to say that those countries, 57 of them, should take all who want to run from there? Why won't you say that? Why is India supposed to do that? That is a very simple question, no? Why was it? And would you wake up from whatever you do in life, your work, your business, your fun? What will be the work? What will be the business? What will be the fun? What will be the entertainment? When your civilization won't be left. And especially all the girls and ladies. Honestly, what would happen to you if this sort of mindset comes up? Forget the men. For all the nonsense they speak, you know what is the position of women when this mindset comes. You know what's the position of women. Way, way, way worse than men. No comparison also. Even if you convert, men convert, Their position is not so bad. So all those ultra feminist, ultra liberal women, think about it yourself. What's the position? What's the position? And then think when your friends support that. That is what they want your position to be. Any of your friends which support that, imagine your position. I am not one of those who will read you 20 things which will be the woman's position if the Taliban version or Saudi Arabia version or the Iranian version or the Iraqi version, are they versions or are they the actuality? Any of those versions come to India, what will be the position of women? You read up, it affects women way more than it affects men, is all I would say. Is all I would say in this. But the question now is what we as a civilization should do. And I have some solutions because I don't like to talk only dark thoughts. I like us to go towards solution. The first solution is by hook or by crook, by force of law, rehabilitate, settle every Hindu and every Sikh and every Buddhist, everybody who was thrown out from Kashmir, resettle them, even if it has to be with many, many more army boots on the ground. It is your duty to teach this lesson that what happened in 90, we have recovered in 2021 or 22. It is your duty. Else, you lost in 90. Let's be very honest. You lost in 90. You lost. And if 24 comes and government changes, or 29 it changes, or whenever it will change, in a democracy, sometime it will change. You can't have one party rule in a democracy. What we can hope is that the opposition is also very Hindutva minded, but doesn't appear like now. So it changes. What did you gain if you don't settle? If you do not settle back? If you do not teach this mindset that you did not win? 1990 happened, but 2022, if 1990 there were 5 lakh Hindu Sikhs in the valley, we will provide cheap land. We will provide free land. I don't care. I am the taxpayer, you are the taxpayer. I don't care. The government wastes so much of money on so many things. Every government does. That 5 lakh went in 1990, but today there are 15 lakh. Give free land to those willing to go and young. Build free houses. I don't care. Unless you take those decisive steps to take back the territory, nothing will happen. Then what have you won? I ask this difficult question to you. What have you won? 5 lakh, they say. 7 lakh, they say. 6 lakh, they say. I don't know the exact number. Were driven out from Kashmir. They are still out. It has become an exclusive zone. So what they did by guns and terror, use the state force. I'm never ever in favor of an individual using force. I'm never in the favor of that. I'm always in the favor of government using laws to settle the tricky civilizational issues. And this is an important civilizational issue to settle. That's very basic thing to do. So if we do not do these solutions, this is one of the solutions. There are many, many other solutions. If we are not unapologetic about implementing solutions, future governments will suffer. Future governments will suffer. That is why I think it is incumbent upon you, me, everybody to do it. I am sorry I have given you a very dark version, but it is the reality version. 5,000-year-old civilization is ending in Afghanistan. I hope and I pray you, me, our generation is strong enough and our leadership is strong enough, decisive enough that they take the steps needed to be taken. Else, who knows what will happen 100, 200, 500 years down the line. You have to fight the battles of 100 years today. Please fight it. Please spread awareness. Never ever succumb to this liberal, so-called liberal ideology which will whitewash the true evils of Taliban. Please don't. Good night.